ReconAthlete.com podcast is brought to you by Lawnman ATX and Kreitz Market. All right, on the line we got Kevin McKinley, defensive coordinator for the McNeil Mavericks. First of all, Coach, congratulations on the win yesterday. Talk to us about the game plan against this vaunted Stony Point rushing attack.
Well, first off, thanks. Appreciate it. It was a big win for us, a big win for our program. We just knew going into it that we had to find a way to stop 17. And that's probably, I think, one of the top rushers in this district. And our kids lined up and got after it. I thought we ran to the ball really well, and we just executed. You know, we've had a couple close games this year where we just got out executed at the end and made a few mistakes on our part, and it's just been constantly stop beating ourselves. And yesterday afternoon we had a chance and we didn't beat ourselves, got lined up, and were able to tackle. That was the biggest thing. He's so elusive. The first guy got there and wrapped up and waited for the rest of the team to get there. Probably the best team win that we've had since our coaching staff has been at McNeil.
Yeah, McNeil victorious yesterday over at Stony Point, and 17 is Kendall Thomas, and you guys, kept him under 50 yards, and definitely one of the top running backs in 13-6A, Coach, and you guys did a great job on him, and just a big win, like you said, over Stony Point yesterday. And weather was a little bit of a factor yesterday. Talk a little bit about that. Oh,
absolutely. When you're sitting there playing in 20-mile-an-hour winds, there's no telling what that ball is going to do when it got in the air. We had a late field goal from not very far out, and it just barely gets over and ended up keeping it to a two-score game at the end. It's just ball was in the air. Kids didn't really know where it was going to go, so it was definitely a factor and probably hurt a little bit in some of the passing game for both teams.
Once again, Kevin McKinley, defensive coordinator for the McNeil Mavericks, on the line here with Recon Athlete, and McNeil with the 38-28 win over Stony Point yesterday. And you mentioned before we came on air here, you're watching film. Obviously, like you said, it's a great team win. But was there any individual performances that you saw on film this morning that you might want to point out today?
Yeah, there were a few. Defensively, Jason Powell he made a couple really big plays for us. There was a 3rd and 1 where we tried to run a blitz off the weak side, and we got him in the backfield, but he broke out of the tackle, and he ended up running the alley, making a tackle for loss, and they had to punt on that drive. And then another one in the end zone on a 2-point conversion when they started to come back after the big screen play. He breaks the pass up to keep it a 2-score game, or with the field goal, it ended up making it a 2-score game, to where they couldn't come down and tie it with another touchdown if they were able to get it. Offensively, obviously, the Hutch boys are playing really well right now. You got one that threw for 3 touchdowns, and then the other one rushed for 180. So, we keep doing things like that, offensively and defensively working together. Hopefully we can wrap up Deuce this week and continue on from here.
Yeah, and you mentioned Deuce Vaughn, and you guys do have Cedar Ridge coming up next week. And, obviously, you want to go ahead and let the boys celebrate this victory today. And I know the coaching staff celebrated, but, I'm sure you guys already started talking about Cedar Ridge next week. And, just initially, what do you think about the Raiders?
Well, actually, after our game yesterday, since we played at 4, I actually went over there and watched Cedar Ridge and Round Rock, watched that first half. And you talk about a play. It was almost like, the game last year. I think they had, 8 touchdowns in the first 12 plays. And then I get there, and all of a sudden Deuce is on the loose again. He rushes for 260 in the first half. But then Round Rock did a great job of battling back. He's just an elusive back. I think he can be hard to see sometimes behind that offensive line. And when he hits the hole, he hits that thing running. And he does a good job in the open field of making guys miss. So we've got to really zone in and get our butts running to the football. First guy there, wrap him up, and just wait for everybody else and get him on the ground the best we can. And hopefully we can slow him down a little bit.
All right, McNeil with the big 38-28 win over Stony Point yesterday. And Coach McKinley, we really appreciate your time today, and good luck next week. We appreciate it.
Appreciate it, sir. Thanks for having me, and appreciate what you guys do for high school football.